And here we are back again in Berlin. Panasonic LIVE IFA, Patrice Boudibila for you on behalf. We're just about to have a segment dedicated to the camcorders, but prior to that, I just wanted to check the current number, 2,677. These are the swipes, 78. But this is far too less. There are more to come. Because as you can read over here, per 1,000 swipes, the Marine Research Program of Aldebaran will get a donation from Panasonic to ensure the education of one school kid in aid of the marine wildlife preservation and to learn more about marine biodiversity. So whenever you make it over here to the booth of Panasonic, make sure just to give it a try to this monument here and keep on swiping. 2,680, that's not enough, as I believe. So as I promised, we're just going to go head over to the camcorders just to see Mark, and he's going to be my expert when it comes to your questions. And don't worry, even though that the Lumix is a part of this area here, Lumix will have its own segment for the next hour. But for now, it's going to be about the camcorders. Yeah, as you can see, it's a Saturday. It's a little bit crowded. Mark, there you are.
Hi, Patrice. It is very busy again.
It is.
Busier than yesterday.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, pretty good. Quite excited because I already can announce we're going to have an expert today when it comes to Lumix.
Yeah.
Expert, like a professional photographer.
Yeah, we do.
So I'm looking forward to
I can't
to
wait.
that meeting.
We're going to have some good conversations.
But
Looking
now
forward to it.
it's you who's there just to convince me that with all the benefits of the digital cameras, which I have already, that a camcorder is still worth its money.
Oh, absolutely. And a lot of products that we've been talking about already that have in common is picture quality.
Right.
And that, is shared with our camcorder technology as well. So absolute picture quality. But in the top end for camcorders that we've got, we don't just use one sensor, we actually use three. Yeah, one sensor for each, the red, the green and the blue element of the picture quality, and they're about 3 million pixels each, so roughly 9 million pixels together. And of course, we talked about high pixelation yesterday.
Yes.
And it gives you ultimate picture quality, broadcast quality in a video camera.
By the way, did you guys party a bit? Did you have like a camera that you can share with us and later, all the pictures that you took with it?
Behind the scenes, you mean?
Yeah, later on you might swipe and share them then with us.
I couldn't possibly comment on that, could I?
Okay, then let me share a question with you that I received from Patrick. It's a hot topic. The hot topic would be the manual ring.
The manual ring.
What's so special about the manual ring?
Well, with the manual ring, we can actually focus, so what we call push and pull focus with the camcorder. We can do it with our cameras. It's a piece of technology that we've taken from the camcorders. We can do it automatically or manually. So the X900 video that we have here, this is the 3D lens, by the way, that is a separate, that you can actually shoot in 3D with this camcorder. And as you can see, it's a small double set of lens side by side that actually attaches to the camcorder as well. So I'll just put that there. So this is the X900. And I'm just going to... How
many models do we have on display here?
We have, I think there's 9. 3, 6, 9. There's 9 in the range, yes. So what I'm going to do is just, at the moment it's in intelligent auto.
Yes.
So there's a button along the top here called IA/manual. So I'm going to change that to manual. And on the top left, you'll see it's changed to manual.
MNL.
MNL.
Yep.
So to bring that back up again, I just press that button there. So I'm focusing. So again, very easy to understand and visually easy to find. So I'm going to choose focus.
Yes.
Currently it's on autofocus. So I'm going to choose MF for
the
manual focus. And now this ring that we have here, the metallic ring, I can actually, could you see that change to a light blue?
Yes.
Okay. So at the moment it's out of focus. And
so what exactly does the blue indicate?
It means that it's in focus and it's sharp. So basically, if you're trying to be creative with your subject matter, you see it professionally on televisions where you're going in and out. I can then move that across now, and as you can see, it gradually gets more blue, and I know now that person there is in focus. If I want something in the foreground more in focus, then I just bring it the other way around. So I can actually, with ease, and it's very responsive, and the blue tells me that it's in focus. So really easy to use, even in a manual mode.
So whenever I see something blue, I know that it's going to be a sharp
You know it's
picture.
in focus, yeah, absolutely.
It's going to be a little bit complicated when it comes to shooting our monument with all the screens because it's mostly blue.
Well, what it does, but it's really picking up the highest resolution. So even though it's blue, it'll be even brighter than what you've got. So you will always see it, even in outdoors, indoors, bright sunshine as well. So it's a real key feature to get that creative mode.
So this was quite an easy one. Patrick, thank you for that hot topic. We continue with the next question coming from... no, it takes a second. Coming from David Stone, are the LCD screens on the camcorders high quality?
Yes, they are. And again, they need to be because...
Is it about the resolution? Because I believe that every item by itself should be of high quality.
Yes, you're absolutely right. And we make them up... the screen is actually made up of dots. So what you can see here, if I turn the camcorder around...
I think one of the questions that comes up most of the time is, does the display really show the same resolution as the sensor is able to?
Yes, it does. And that's why we use the 3 sensors to give the customer or the end user of the product the sharpest, highest resolution you can get on our camcorders. And of course, you want that because this is a broadcast quality camera in the home. So the things that you see on the television, you can produce similar kind of quality from this unit itself. So this screen is made up of...
May I can you also ask what you define by broadcast quality? Because I remember we had that question yesterday when it was about sound and some digital cameras. What is it that defines the picture quality as broadcast?
It's the output of the video is 50 frames progressive.
Yes.
So progressive means a really smooth output of picture quality. So that means that you can get what you see on the television in this compact body. We've taken technology from our semi-professional camera that we use and the end users use to broadcast, and those elements, those high-quality elements, are put into this small body. So the customer can have that in the home, be creative, whether they're using it professionally or just for fun.
Okay, so just to have a benchmark of things here.
Yeah.
Okay, now back to the high quality of the LCD screen.
The LCD screen on the X900 is built up of little dots, and on this one is around 460,000 individual dots.
Yep.
So that's going to give you a really sharp resolution. So again, really crisp, clear picture quality. Lower down the range, it gets a little bit smaller, but still at 230,000 dots, that's quite a lot of pixels you can fit into a small screen.
So I hope that David is going to be satisfied with this answer. Thank you for your question. Coming now to one by Tony Ray. Can I playback recordings on 3D on the LCD screen?
Yes, you can. I've taken some images earlier, and the whole point of that with this camera is that we now have a 3D screen.
By the way, where's the 3D lens?
We don't need to do... The 3D lens has been taken away because it's being used for something else.
I just want to make sure.
It's not gone, it's okay.
You never know
we're on top of it, don't worry. I won't shoot in 3D now. I've shot some 2D imagery earlier, and I'm just going to play that back. So I just put that on here. But what I can do, I can actually convert it from 2D to 3D.
But does the displays, is it going to be able to display it also in 3D?
Yes, absolutely. We don't need any glasses here, so I'm not sure if the camera will be able to pick this up. But
really?
Yeah. So this is a lenticular screen. Okay, so there's a 3D button. This is a playback from earlier, so I'm going to now press 3D. And if you get the right angle, you can actually see.
Yes, it does.
Now, although it's recorded in 2D, you get an effect of depth. And one of the things when you do shoot in 3D, you keep 3 things in mind. And that really is you need to have a foreground, a middle ground, and a background. And what that will do is will give you depth to the actual subject matter. So if you record on this camera as normal, just standard holiday footage or any kind of event in your life that you want to treasure and cherish, it'll look standard. So try when you're taking 3D footage to use unusual angles with, say, if we were recording now, you would really be prominent at the front of the screen, Patrice.
Right.
And then customers and colleagues here would, because they're in different layers, would give us that sense of depth. So when playing back, it would actually, if you've got a 3D television, obviously playing back, it would kind of jump out of the screen and go in. But what's unique here is that if we do have the 3D lens on the camcorder, we can actually see in 3D what we're recording. So this is just playback.
All right, so Tony, your answer is yes. to the question that I say thank you to. Continuing with a question coming from... And as you can see...
Oh, have we got something?
Do we?
No.
Oh, yes, there's one. I expected actually to have more of a busy network here, but for now it seems to work. Helga Goodster would like to know, are your camcorders waterproof?
Camcorder's waterproof. Well, this one here isn't, but we do have a camcorder that's waterproof, so I'm just going to pop this back on here a second, and we're going to go...
But do you offer cases for
not for these ones, unfortunately, no. But behind me, we do have an underwater camera now, camcorder. Now, this is, again, completely different to what you've seen here. I think that looks quite fun and funky. What do you think?
It does. But I'm still more into the white and blue.
You want the white one? Well, it comes in orange and white.
Okay.
So this is waterproof. It'll go down to 3 meters of water. It's also dustproof as well. So as you can see, it's a really solid casing. We've got rubber seals as well to stop the elements from coming out.
So 3 meters, that's for those who are into snorkeling, anything like that?
Yeah, so this is more of an active camcorder. Okay. Absolutely right.
Shouldn't be used for deep dives, 10 meters and deeper.
I think if you were going to use it further than 3 meters, I think you'd find out that, obviously it's not made for that.
Okay.
But for, if you're out and about and it's wet and rainy, then this is fine.
Either that or I can use it also like in a shower.
You could use it in the shower if you want.
Some people are so shy, they only sing when they're in the shower. Yeah. Maybe they want to have a...
Yeah, if they want to,
for casting, anything like audition tape, they just shoot it like in the shower.
They could do that, absolutely. If you wanted to shave with our shavers and video yourself doing that, wet and dry, then you could exactly. Do that as well. Very easy to use. It's got a very quick start switch on. So as you can see there, I've taken the screen out to the side and the image has come on straight away. Something I didn't mention earlier is that obviously these camcorders can take photographs as well. So this can take a photograph still of 14 megapixels.
But which has changed. It used to be that a camcorder also was able just to do some still pictures, which was quite a nice feature.
Quite unique.
But now you have a lot of digital cameras who are also able just to shoot some videos, but we are here just to see why there's still a need for camcorders.
Absolutely right. And although the quality isn't as high as, say, the top
G5,
end,
GH2,
and the X900, you've still got full HD video on here. It'll also shoot in MPEG-4, which obviously is good for transferring over the net, and it's iMac compatible as well, so you can actually edit it on different formats. What's quite unique about this camcorder as well is...
wait a minute, does this come with full HD or just like 720p?
Sorry.
720p.
Yes,
I think
720p, thank you for that. 720p, so really high quality video and a really good electrical image stabilizing here. So we use optical image stabilization on the mid to high range camcorders and electrical on here. So you're going to get, as you can see, I've been holding this for a while now and there's very little camera shake on here, and of course I'm moving and I'm breathing and I'm talking at the same time.
Well, this is also like a very important issue because a lot of people don't really get what it means to shoot a camera. Really means you need to be dedicated and focused on whatever you shoot, because some people have always the impression that they should hold a camera just the way that they're looking at things and just are surprised how chaotic it is, whatever they've been shooting. So a stable picture, that's the key to success if you want to have really an audience that enjoys whatever you've been shooting.
Yep, that's really important.
Yeah. So Helga, yes, not all of the camcorders are waterproof, but when it comes to depth to 3 meters, this will be your choice considering the Panasonic products. Thank you for your question. Coming now to a question by Andreas. Will Panasonic continue to evolve camcorders? Up to now, Panasonic makes the best camcorders in the market. So apparently there's a fan. Evolve. I think
so. Evolution.
Continue to develop the development properly.
Oh, absolutely. I don't. We are not stopping to continue to develop our technology.
So probably has to do with the fact that I just mentioned that nowadays it seems that more and more digital cameras turn to become like video cameras. So perhaps it's more like a question towards if there's still major support for camcorders. That's what it is.
Oh, absolutely. And I think when you see a range that we have, variety of ranges for different kind of users, whether it's active, whether it's a more affordable kind of mid-range that still has elements of the top end that you can still produce quality output. and the kind of pro equivalent, why stop where we're at now? The technology that we've used in camcorders has spilled into the camera range, and vice versa. So I think from a consumer point of view, we've got huge range opportunity, and the technology is just getting better and better. So
No, I'm listening. I'm just not getting over the fact that this is already this is actually a camcorder.
That is a camera. I mean, how light is that? I mean, a few hundred grams. That is discreet. You can pop that in your bag. You can again, power on technology is as soon as you open the side of the camcorder, it switches on within seconds, and you can capture. And we've also got features on the camcorders that it has a pre-record function where it's actually recording as soon as you open the actual side of the camera itself. So if you're trying to capture your family jumping into a pool on holiday, and you just literally see it at the last minute, it will actually start recording just as you open before you press the button. It'll actually start recording for you. So you've got that pre-recording function you can put on, so you don't miss out on that, magic moment that you want to keep.
Just in general, I know that the next hour will be dedicated to Lumix, but when I just see the size of this camcorder, I mean, is this pretty much just almost like the same size as some lenses of a GH2, for instance? I mean, you could put all the technology into one lens and then put it on a GH2 and sell it as a camera. Digital camera. Yeah,
well, like what I said, we're taking elements of that onto that, so that the consumer can have the best of both worlds, both from still photography and from videography as well.
Okay. So, Andreas, yes, of course, Panasonic will continue to develop their camcorders, as they're still part of the range of devices and products that Panasonic has to offer. Continuing with a question from Andrios is back again. Ukis. Hey, hello. What are the advantages of hybrid OIS and 3MOS sensor? Well, first of all, you need to explain what's in hybrid OIS.
Okay. Yep.
And what's the 3MOS sensor?
Okay. Well, the 3MOS sensor are those three sensors. They're MOS sensors. So
but what does the MOS stand for?
Well, it's like a metal oxide sensor. So it describes. Of course, you're testing me now, aren't you? Hey. So we see live MOS and CMOS and 3MOS on all different technology, not just Panasonic. And that's about the quality, what we can do in low light capability. So we're using areas of the sensor to create, when you take it out in a dark environment, that you've got very little grain or what we call noise, which is key, so you don't have to use flashes and stuff. So the 3MOS sensor uses three sensors, which are made up of about 9 million different pixels, so really high quality.
And the advantage of having how is it that you actually create the higher quality with three sensors? What's the benefit in comparison?
Oh, well, if you've got one sensor, you're obviously going to get a very high quality picture. If you've got three then doing more of the same thing, then it's stepping it up. It's like, you've got a first division kind of sensor, and the 3MOS is premier, a kind of premier sensor. You're getting much better output, smoother, and more kind of relation to what you see on the television.
Has it to do with the fact that basically any picture to be seen on a television screen is built up with the three ground colors?
Yeah,
and every single chip is dedicated to each and every individual color.
All those different colors at a higher output and a higher quality.
This is the reason why you would use 3MOS sensors instead of just one.
Yeah.
And what exactly?
Hybrid OIS. So if we go back up to the
X900. Yes.
So these three camcorders here have what we call hybrid OIS. So OIS is optical image stabilizer. So we have the sensors inside the camera are protected by a kind of a piece of equipment that when I breathe or move from left to right, it actually moves in the opposite direction, and it can be vibrated up to 4,000 times a second. So it
adapts itself to the movement.
It adapts itself to the environment and the user. So whether you've got a steady hand or you're breathing heavily or softly, it will move. So it's keeping the sensor and the actual optical lens steady at all times.
Right.
What hybrid does is that not only when I'm filming, I can. If I'm moving and walking around, if I tilt the camera forward, the optical image stabilization is still in working. If I move it up and down, it's still working. If I move it back, it's still working. And now hybrid means that if you roll the camera, so we've got 5 axes of optical image stabilizer, basically 360 in a way. The sensor that's moving, etc., stays in one place. So I've got, that's the difference between optical and electrical, is that we're using all the technology in the camcorder to keep it as still as possible. So
it's going to be perfect for a roller coaster ride then.
Yeah,
apparently,
yeah.
When it has all the axes.
Absolutely. It would be perfect for that.
So right away, if somebody comes up with a question, which one would be the best camcorder for a roller coaster ride? The X900 quite does the job, and pretty much all of them.
Up to around here.
Up to here.
Yeah. And then we have sorry, actually the 500 as well, and then from the 100 onwards it doesn't have all the axes, so it has some of the axes, but not all of them.
Okay, so down to the VA100, you have the perfect camera for your ride. And Andreas, once again, thank you for your question. Now it's time for a poll where we have some questions that we just throw in between, and would like to have your opinion about it, your tendency. And this time we would like to know, I want a camcorder to capture the following moments. Is it either family get-togethers or sports and outdoor entertainment, or is it concert and cultural events? And it's quite balanced out, 40% to family get-togethers and 40% to sports and outdoor entertainment, and only 20% for concerts and cultural events. Anyway, you're not supposed to shoot anything on concert, because with this quality nowadays, you might have some copyright infringement problems afterwards. So sports and outdoor entertainment, family get-together, perfect. And actually, sports and outdoor, that brings us to our professional photographer who will be with us next hour to talk about the Lumix. It's going to be quite interesting just to have his insights of that. So once again, Andreas, thank you for the last question that came from you. We are moving forward towards a question from... it's always like very surprising for myself. It's like, oh, here we go. Oliver, okay. Oliver is gone. Blitzman, can I record in super slow motion? Oh yeah, that's a great. You
can also do
with all of them or just with a few?
Well, let's with some of them, and one of them again. If we go back down to the
all I know when it comes to slow motion, it's most of the time the disadvantage is that the resolution gets lower.
The resolution does get lower.
Yeah.
It's more of personally for me, it's more of a fun element to the camera. You've probably watched on television sports adverts and introductions where they slow the motion right down, so there's maybe a leg coming in to tackle the football, and you can see the blades of grass flying up.
I'm just thinking about movie scenes. Badass.
Slow-mo
walk-ins.
Yeah, the same thing. So they're running in and they're kicking the door open, that kind of stuff.
Bullet time.
You can do that. Yeah, with the bullets, the slow-down bullets, absolutely. You can do that kind of effect on this camera. We don't have enough time here to do that today, but it's very simple to set up. I go into the menu system here. Let's just press that again. Okay. And then I can choose the different recording modes. So as I go down here...
Where do I go down?
There we go.
Down from the full H.
Yeah, and then we can go into basically 480 frames a second, where it's actually really slowing it right down. Something we didn't mention yesterday is that we can actually now do that on some of our cameras, which we will be talking about tomorrow, about the the LX7 and the FZ200, and we'll be able to show that because we can actually do that in HD as well. So taking again elements of our camcorder technology into new ranges of cameras as well.
So 480.
Yeah, so it's 480 frames a second on here, and then we do it. We do have it on a slower output on the cameras as well.
Okay, so Blitzman, yes, it is possible, but to a certain extent. Continuing with a question coming from... La 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 la. Yes, we're going to take... No, wait. Before I use my backup ones, I just give it a last try.
Something's
Good work. Oh, something is happening. And here it is. Question by Felix Kress. Can I add different lenses to your camcorders? Oh, is that possible?
It's not. We do have conversion lenses and filters, but unfortunately, no, we don't have any additional lenses
or in general?
On our camcorders at all, no. You obviously, like what we do with the Lumix G series, where we've got interchangeable lenses, we don't have any of that kind of feature on the camcorders. However, again, if we go back up to the X900 series, what we can say is, again, using technology that we've used in cameras, still cameras, is, are you familiar with this name here?
Yes,
Patrice?
I'm very quite familiar.
Yeah, Leica. We use Leica on a lot of our lenses, our compacts. We work very, very closely with them to develop our own technology. And on here we have a Leica Dicamar lens, which is really bright, really sharp. If I just switch that on, there we go. You have a lens system flash here. So we have an aperture, or a wide aperture, which lets a lot of light into the camcorder itself, of 1.5. And to be able to do that as well, we've got a 12 times optical zoom within the camcorder. So really high quality pieces of glass that are set up very, very finely to give you a really good picture quality. But unfortunately, we don't have additional lenses you can put on like you can do, say, with the GH2 and the G5.
Right over there.
Which are right over there.
Right over there. So FedEx Express, this has been, or this is your answer. Continuing with Jan Noy, what do the different MOS numbers mean? For example, 3MOS. We just mentioned that before.
Yeah, we
just
mentioned that. So it's 3 sensors dedicated to each different color variation and to give the customer the best picture quality you can get out of our camcorders.
That's what it stands for. Mr. Noy. Continuing with a question from... Do you? Romero would like to know, what is the battery life of your camcorders, more or less than, say, a smartphone device?
Okay, that's a really good question. That's a topical question as well. As we know, with smartphones, we can do a variety of things like photographs and video. But if you were going to use your smartphone all day like a camcorder to video, the battery's probably going to not last very, very long. On average, our camcorder videos, batteries tend to last between, say, 130 to 160 minutes of continuous recording at the highest quality. So on and off, it would probably at least last you, depending on what you're shooting, around a day, if that. And
do they also come like with different kind of batteries? Because batteries that might stand out a bit and therefore also last longer?
Well, they do. They do last longer, and as you can see on this camcorder, the X900, the battery is quite large compared to, say, on our entry-level camcorders. But it has to be that because it's such a sophisticated piece of equipment.
Right.
So you're looking at, like I said, roughly around 160 minutes worth of continuous full HD recording.
But there's enough space here. I mean, that's why I could imagine that perhaps there's some, as an extra accessory, some batteries that are actually sticking out a bit, and then therefore last longer.
Yeah, and they do, but again, it depends on the equipment,
the usage.
The usage and what your subject matter, what you're recording, and also at the same time, the equipment, the technology that's inside. When you then look at, say, a V500, for example, the battery's getting a little bit smaller because it's only got one sensor in here, whereas the other camcorders have got 3. And let's not forget as well, these are specific camcorders for videography, so high quality, where obviously smartphones are phones with technology that you can take photographs and videos. So that's why the quality of these camcorders are very,
It's always difficult to say, because also when it comes to the smartphone, people are complaining that their smartphone is not lasting as long as their old phone, which they just used to make phone calls. Nowadays, it's like Facebook, Instagram, MySpace, whatever.
Absolutely, and things like weddings and family birthdays, etc. I personally would prefer, if I was going to cherish a moment together with my family, it was done on a video camera than maybe a smartphone, because of the quality.
Exactly. That's why the smartphone is always good when nothing else is there, but I'd rather have a proper camera, I have to say that, to be honest about that. Coming to the next question from Kati Kaur would like to know, what would you say is the best camera for indoor and outdoor use?
Well, I have to go to the top end, the X900, because of its low light capability. So again, if you've got, in an environment like this, I'll come and show you on here. I'll just show you here. We've got a lot of light here, so what I'm going to do is just turn this around. So again, straight on. Could you see that came on straight away? Here, the quality has been picked up. Now, this is in intelligent auto, so this is like the camera technology that we use. It's actually calculating all the different resolution and brightness, etc. And as I'm zooming in, you can see that the quality of the backdrop is very, very crisp and very clear. Now, if I can move...
So would you say that the X900 would be the best for indoors and outdoors?
Yeah, but...
Yes, that's a crazy thing. A lot of things happening. But which one would you recommend, Mark? Don't get...
Okay, what I would recommend is mid-range. We then got the V500 series. Sorry, I'm going to take
What does this get rid of it?
Yeah. Oh. Right, I would take the 500 series. Let's just switch that. Again, that's switched on. But I don't know if the camera can see, but there's just a slight difference in resolution. But of course, the cost element is going to be a lot lower, so a more affordable mid-range camcorder. And as you can see, as I zoom in, it's just a little bit darker, but still very good at sharp resolution and also color. So it's really important to see that the color reproduction is very good on both. And that will go all the way through the range as well. So right into our handheld active camcorders. You've got really good low light capabilities and resolution. So all of them are very good for both indoors and outdoors.
I knew that you would say that. So again, you need to really check like specifically what you're aiming for. The top one would be like the X900.
Yes.
When it comes to taking a audition video under the shower up to 3 meters, then you could use the VA20 or VA2.
Yep. It's a DC2 as well. And if
they pretty much cover everything.
Yeah, so you could take that out, but if you were doing, like you said, the shower and all that kind of stuff, then more of the active style would be recommended for that, yeah.
That would be your choice. Katie, thank you for your question. And continuing now with... a backup question for my sheet of paper. Pavel Ferdek would like to have a movie camera in my smartphone. Why would I still need a camcorder? Again, you see that question is coming up.
Yeah, I mean, each end user operates our technology different. Whether it's a telephone, microwave.
Pretty much we just said like a smartphone is a nice thing to have when you want to communicate with people and in between to have some pictures. But we really want to have like some proper ones. You should still go for either a proper digital still camera or camcorder, of which we have to say, when it's just about filming this size, it's rather smaller even than some of the lenses mounted on the digital cam. So it's always a matter of what exactly is it that you want and what are you willing to carry with you.
Yeah, absolutely right. And I think, just adding to that, you want the best picture quality of a for stills, you choose a good camera. You want the best videography, the best video, high quality. Right. You choose, the best that within your price range that you can actually, and the subject matter, what you want from that, like you would if you were choosing another different technology.
Exactly. Product. So let's continue with a hot topic from William, Intelligent Auto.
Intelligent Auto, yes. Again, all our camcorders have our processing of Intelligent Auto like we do with our cameras. One of the bits of Intelligent Auto is that the processing straight on. So we've got the fast startup time. As you can see in the top left-hand corner, it's the Intelligent Auto button. And what I can actually do as well, if I'm zooming into, say, the face, I'm not sure if you'll pick it up here, but what would do if that person didn't have glasses on, a yellow box would come over the face and actually face detection. We've also got auto tracking as well and face recognition. And I can actually input, I think it's up to 6 people on the camcorder, their names, so that every time I focus on my family and I've got, say, my wife's name on there or another part of my family's on there, then it will recognize them, focus on their face, and actually make sure that they're always in focus and they have the right resolution. So it does all that for you. So it's calculating the color, the shadow, the contrast, everything for you.
So that's
you don't have to worry about doing it manually or anything like that.
Especially for me, as a very lazy person, every morning when I got up. William, thank you for this hot topic then. Continuing with a question from another hot topic, Milan, about the touchscreen.
Okay, touchscreen, yeah. If we go back up to the X900, it's easier to show on this one.
Can I also use the touchscreen as a to focus on things just as the cameras?
Yeah, I can. I can actually focus. There we go. So, sorry, I'll show the camera there.
There's the yellow square.
So let's, as you can see there, what happened there was that it was quite bright. The sensors adjusting and then bringing the color reproduction to how, try and create an accurate representation. But if I wanted to zoom in, for example, and just touch areas, then I can, and that'll focus on there.
Maybe we should get some people then.
Yeah, I don't know if the camera can come around.
Yeah, of course the camera can come around and cover that. So the person actually needs to be looking, because what happens is the sensor in the camera and the technology, did you see that? Yeah.
It picks up contours of the face. Right. So it'll work out, for example, where your eyes and your nose.
The symmetry of the eyes, the nose.
And that's why it doesn't pick up pets, because animals obviously have different facial features. So it can't work out that it's a person, obviously, where the shape of the nose, etc. is. But on the touchscreen, if I take that out of into manual mode, for example, I can change, if we've got a histogram here showing me how many black and white levels there are, and I can open the iris. I don't know if you can see that happening now, but it's getting darker. And it's getting brighter. So I'm changing what we'd normally do on a camera, the aperture, to allow the right amount of light in and the right amount of light out. And actually, that'll go a little bit lower as well. So I can do that with the shutter, the white balance. Let's just move that across here. There is a Q menu. We talked about that yesterday in the Lumix area, which basically is a quick menu. So that will give me a quick access to all different features. So I can change the resolution of the camera itself. I can actually change the megapixels of the camera as well, and so on. Guidelines, the different sound.
So pretty much you can
absolutely everything.
Change anything about over the screen.
Yeah, and if I select that, it will actually tell me what I'm actually doing as well. So the information button there is really easy to use. If I'm not sure what an icon means on the screen, then it will actually tell me what I'm doing.
Is that a feature on all the models?
Not on all of them, no. That'll be into the mid-range.
So the touch screen just gonna be
up into the V100.
V100?
Yeah.
So this one?
Yeah, so that one. Because as the screens get smaller, we're not able to get all the information onto the screen itself.
Well, especially with my clumsy fingers. So yeah, that makes totally sense.
Well.
All right.
Okay.
Then thank you for this hot topic, Milan. And now coming to the final question for this segment. It's a question from an IFA visitor. Are the camcorders controllable via remote control?
Well, again, with the X900 as an example, yes, you get a remote control that actually comes with the camcorder itself as well. So it's like a little pad that will actually have...
Is it operated via infrared or via cable?
It's via infrared. Okay. So that is like a very small TV remote, very thin. It's playback, near enough all the features that we've gone through here. And so you can operate that remotely as well within a suitable radius.
Right. So as you can hear, yes, you do have a remote control when it comes to these cameras. And thank you for this last question. We will see each other again in about 20 minutes at 12, at noon.
I believe so.
When we're going to have an expert. What kind of expert is he? He's a professional photographer who just came back just for the IFA from the Paralympics.
Yep, from the Olympic Games, and this gentleman has used our equipment, our Lumix G series, so I won't give too much away, but he's used, and we're going to be talking about his experience with Lumix, and yeah.
I think this is going to be very interesting to have an expert and a professional, just like how what they experience.
Really looking forward to.
For example, I'm not going to name it. You will discover it at noon here at Panasonic Live at IFA 2012. This was Patrice Bouidibila. See you later.